Local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods. Courtesy of the Scottish Government, of course, planning guidance draft for consultation. Now, over the course of, well, the best part of the last year or so, I've compiled a myriad of different clips, not limited to the last year, of course, of members of the Rainbow Unicorn Parliament talking in their robes about behavioural change, sustainable lifestyles, the need for acceleration, always an emphasis on the word sustainability. Obviously, the wider context of that, of course, is sustainable developments. But more and more so, we are now hearing about not just this well-being economy bullshit, but 20-minute neighbourhoods. So I thought I would go through this, the 79 pages. I'm not going to go through the entirety of it, of course. There's other people that have covered this. It's probably all over Twitter and whatnot as we speak anyway. But I just wanted to go through a few sections of this. It's very recent. If I'm not mistaken, the consultation to this is still out. I posted this on Telegram a wee while ago. I'll have a look for it and I'll post it in the description when I find it. But effectively, the executive summary, the complex challenges that we face, from the climate and nature crises, right, alleged, to poverty and disadvantage and stark health inequalities, require a joined up and collaborative approach to deliver positive outcomes. Now, just like the terminology surrounding well-being, who determines what well-being is defined as, same really could be said for what really, or who really gets to decide what a positive outcome is, but that's here nor there for the purpose of this video. We're more focusing on this aspect of it. Local living, 20-minute neighbourhoods can help to deliver the healthy, sustainable, and resilient places required to support a good quality of life and balance our environmental impact. Local living and 20-minute neighbourhood concepts aim to create places where people can meet the majority of their daily needs within a reasonable distance of their home by walking, wheeling, or cycling. Okay? So, it's always important to note whenever you go through tripe, which this is as far as I'm concerned, tripe, always important to note that they will mention things such as what I've highlighted here, that their NPF4, their National Planning Framework, sets out a clear commitment to think differently about our places, putting climate and nature at the forefront. Now, this climate narrative, climate crisis, whatever side of the fence you fall on, irrespective, really, that is the focal point of this, and everything is predicated thereon after. This is all about nudging individuals, and they've got many methods of doing so, nudging individuals towards getting away from their cars, nudging them, changing their behaviour so they think differently, so they remain in their local sphere. Hence, really, the concept of a 20-minute neighbourhood, right? Nature at the forefront, tackling long-standing challenges. Now, these people claim that there's a climate crisis out there, so we need drastic action, right? And what better way than to begin that process than to stop people polluting their carbon footprints? Get people out of their cars, get people to remain in their local vicinity. Hey presto. Tackling long-standing challenges and inequalities and leading the transition to a stronger, greener, emphasis on greener, fairer and healthier communities across Scotland. What's this got to do with fairness? A key element of this agenda, operative word, is the need to plan, design and deliver places that support local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods where people can meet the majority of their daily needs within a reasonable distance of their home. Right? Now, even if you are satisfied with the idea, or you're satisfied as it is with being able to meet the majority of your needs within a reasonable distance of your home, should you not have the ability to go with wherever the fuck you want if you so choose? Well, in time, that will become harder and harder as it is. Look what they're doing in Glasgow. Look what they're proposing elsewhere. You know? Local living can support our health and well-being, tackle inequality, increase climate resilience, and deliver vibrant local communities. Providing better access to more of the services and facilities that people need on a daily basis can reduce the need to travel. See, this right here can reduce the need to travel unsustainably. See this? This is what I'm saying. I'm only on page 8, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. I made so many videos about behavioural change where it's not me spouting off my opinion. It's me literally just quoting what they say in their own publications, their own PDFs. The need to travel unsustainably. Who gets to define what is unsustainable travel? To them, what is unsustainable travel is car use, private transportation. Now, you can make the argument to try and oppose what I've just said there by saying, but what about electric cars? Do you really think that's feasible for the majority of people? That's not what they're proposing. No, they're trying to satisfy people by giving them the delusion that everything's okay in their little sphere. This is what this is about. Because in the end, it is the eradication of the rights to private transportation in your own country and further afield in time because of my climate. Really, that's what it's about. Making you solely reliant on public transports. So they get to determine where you can and cannot go. Giving roads back to nature, quote unquote. Increased opportunities for social connections and help to build a positive sense of belonging and community resilience. Now, just what has that got to do with the government? Delivering local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods requires an understanding of the specific context of a place. Whatever the context, cities, towns, villages, rural and island communities, the views and interests of local people must be at the forefront of the decisions made about a place. Local living in the 20-minute neighbourhood concept should respond to the assets, opportunities and the needs of a place. It is a flexible approach rather than a template. They then say here, it is a flexible approach rather than a template and does not restrict movement or impose boundaries. Yet. But let's just take my input there out of the equation. And again, I refer back to the need to travel unsustainably. They've determined what is sustainable travel. They've determined what is unsustainable travel. They have determined what is a healthy lifestyle. They've determined what is an unhealthy lifestyle. And by extension, what is an unsustainable or a sustainable lifestyle, right? So already they're sort of planting the seeds here. They might not necessarily be coming out right off the jump and saying that they're restricting your movement, but this is about trying to nudge people to restrict their own movement for a healthy and a sustainable lifestyle and to stop traveling unsustainably. What is the alternative to unsustainable travel? Sustainable travel. Buses, right? Okay. Right on the face of it, it's not that big a deal, but you have to give up your private transport and solely rely on a bus. Bus routes determine where you can and cannot go. Electric cars, I will continue to say, pretty unfeasible and, quite frankly, unsustainable. This document provides further detail to support the policy framework on local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods, aiming to encourage is a lovely little word there, promote and facilitate the application of the place principle. Encourage, nudge, behaviour, change, create connected and compact neighbourhoods which prioritise environmental, social and economic sustainability. It's like, why? Okay. 2 pages later, the benefits of local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods. People, place and planet. The National Performance Framework, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 2030, which by extension is Agenda 21, and the NPF4, which is Sustainable Development. It's the same thing. All recognise that places where we live and spend our time have a direct impact on health and well-being, quality of life, and environmental balance. And this is always their fucking god card, more or less. Their top trump. Because we live in a world now where you can't even debate this issue. No. It's their new god. Or their justification. Sets out a series of spatial principles for Scotland 2045, the just transition, local living, compact urban growth, rebalanced development, rural revitalisation. These principles support the planning and delivery of sustainable places, sustainable places, sustainable development goals, livable places, productive places, creating places that support local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods will play an important role in contributing to national and global sustainability outcomes. So let me reiterate here. Creating places that support local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods will play an important role in contributing to national and global sustainability outcomes. So they're implementing this in order to achieve sustainability outcomes, outcomes, which of course are courteous of this. The current environmental, social, and economic circumstances bring multiple interrelated challenges, and require us to rethink how we plan and deliver places. They then say here that local living can play an important role in lowering emissions through promoting sustainable and active travel. Again, who gets to determine what is and what isn't sustainable or unsustainable travel, right? As well as developing the wider resilience of our communities against the impacts of climate change. Creating walkable places with easy accessible shops, services and employment will play an important role in reducing reliance on car use, right? What do I keep saying? Reducing reliance on car use. They're nudging people towards becoming less reliant on car use, private transportation, right? An approach that focuses on a less intensive use of the road network also provides opportunity to repurpose land for people and nature, helping to enhance our environment and provide space for greater biodiversity. In Scotland, full of greenery. Lack of trees, admittedly, but full of greenery. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Right, we don't even... Scotland as a country is not overpopulated by any stretch of the imagination. And quite frankly, there's a lot of green space. Admittedly, they continue to build on it, which goes flies in the face of their bullshit pertaining to climate and environment or environmental concerns. But in the grand scheme of things, pretty green. But they still want to give things back to nature, quote unquote, aka, again, eradicating your right to private transportation. The focus on local living can also provide opportunities for community, food production, and local enterprises, reducing embodied energy in the foods we eat and the goods we buy. I'm sure. Another reference to car use, Says here that local living in 20-minute neighbourhoods have an important role to play in supporting well-being creation and reducing health inequalities, reducing the reliance on private vehicles. So we've surpassed cars that are just private vehicles. See? Can also help to improve air quality and the safety of neighbourhoods, creating attractive places which encourage social interaction and opportunities for play activity. Bear in mind, of course, we can do all these things with the ability to drive anyway. Your car could be sat in the driveway, but you can still socially interact and have a multitude of opportunities for play, quote unquote, and activity. But they still want to get rid of the cars. Transport Scotland, etc., all in cahoots. I've done videos on this in the past. Anybody wishes to see them, just ask and I will provide you with the links. The place and wellbeing outcomes support local living in the delivery of 20-minute neighbourhood concepts and provide a consistent and comprehensive focus for how place can positively influence the well-being of people and planets. Yeah. Let's just get Norman out of his Ford Fiesta. That will save the planet, of course. Yeah, of course. The local living and 20-minute neighbourhoods concept support low carbon lifestyles. So, low carbon lifestyles, unsustainable travel. So the alternative to that would be sustainable travel. It all ties in, does it not? Local living requires sustainable means of transport to be prioritised, complementing local circumstances and reflecting the national transport strategy, sustainable transport hierarchy. Implementing the concept nationally across diverse urban and rural geographies requires flexibility, with focus in every case on optimizing how we meet and access these daily needs. The Rainbow Unicorn government is working towards an ambitious target, national target in fact, to reduce car kilometres by 20% by 2030, which means to achieve this detailed in the route map. I've already made a video on this. A mass part of this is behavioural change, and they actually go so far as to say that in the event, in the hypothetical, of course, that things don't turn out the way that they wish to, they might have to do things to force people out their cars, such as increasing tax, making it financially unfeasible. So not only are they banning the sale of new cars, which will in and of itself, like petrol, diesel cars, etc. in the future, that will in and of itself inflate the prices of the cars that are already on the road that require diesel and petrol. Diesel and petrol already start to go up as it is, right? But it's just going to get worse. They're going to just make it financially unfeasible. But for now, they're trying to nudge people to do the right thing. It's all about behavioural change and coercion, nudge units. It's COVID all over again. So, local living and 20-minute neighbourhoods contribute to this goal, helping to improve opportunities for walking, wheeling, and cycling. So, local living and 20-minute neighbourhoods contribute to a goal set out by the Scottish Government and Transport Scotland to reduce car use. Access to local shops, services, and thereby reducing the need to travel unsustainably. They've deemed car use unsustainable. The route map sets out system-level interventions that will support people at the individual level to reduce car use But also 4 key sustainable travel behaviors for people to consider when planning a journey. And now acknowledging that how that happens will vary between individuals and communities across Scotland. The ways in which we access and fulfill our daily needs locally through active and sustainable, so they're deeming what's sustainable and what's unsustainable travel, of course, must be considered alongside the means of accessing wider services and amenities, such as those that are further afield. Sustainable transport. Fucking hell. I don't know. 20-minute neighbourhoods, realistically, is the first step. Well, they've already taken many steps as is, but it's an acceleration of steps, should I rephrase, towards the eradication to your rights of private transportation. That's all there is to that. Peace.